10A, waive the first reading and introduce ordinance amending Section 2.32.010 of the San Bruno Municipal Code to comply with the California Voter Participation Rights Act, SB 415, by conducting 2017 and 2019 elections for 3-year council member terms and a 3-year mayoral term in 2017.
Good evening, Mr. Mayor and members of the City Council. Before you tonight is an ordinance that's based on the resolution you adopted at the last meeting that does two things: to comply with SB 415. And you'll remember that SB 415 requires certain cities, notably San Bruno and other cities on the peninsula, to schedule elections as soon as possible for even-numbered years instead of odd-numbered years. And the reason for that is because the county has determined that election turnout in odd-numbered years is generally lower than it is in even-numbered years. So all cities are required to submit their plan to move to even-numbered year elections. And the city's plan to do that is to hold elections for 3-year council member terms in 2017 and 2019. And in addition to that, to hold a 2017 election for a 3-year mayoral term. So those are the two provisions that you'll find in the ordinance that's attached to your packet. There's only one ordinance that needs to be amended in the city code, and that's section 2.32.010. And you have the ordinance in your packet with the changes that are proposed to be made that reflect the 17 and 19 elections for 3-year council member terms and the 17 election for a 3-year mayoral term. So if you introduce the ordinance tonight, waive first reading and introduce it, then at the next meeting, we'll bring back for you on the consent calendar the adoption of the ordinance, and we'll also bring back resolutions that the clerk's office and I will have prepared, submitting it to the county for their approval, because the county has to approve this before it can go into effect. Obviously, there's plenty of time to do that. That concludes my staff report, and I'd be happy to answer any questions.
Any question for Mark? I know we've been through this pretty extensively in previous meetings, so, or action by the council?
I'd like to repeat my comment because, as I said earlier, sometimes it takes 3 times to say it. So I'm opposed to this yet again. As I said before, it's no surprise to anybody. I'd like the people listening to understand that this election, it costs in 2 ways. It costs money because we're adding 2 elections. So it can cost between $104 and $150,000. And it costs in voter participation. In odd numbers years, our voter participation is between 4,000 and 5,000 people, which is sad. In even numbers years, it's more than double that. It's 11,000 people. So that's one thing. That's a cost. If we are holding it in an odd number year, we'll have less voter participation, and we will probably even have less than that because our school board, the elementary school board, is not running their campaign in this odd numbered year. They voted to extend their terms until 2018. So we'll not even have the people who are interested in that particular part of our voting area. The other piece is there are 68 jurisdictions in San Mateo County that elect people for their boards and commissions and their city councils. 11 of them are not doing it. Everyone else has extended theirs. 11 are not. So out of those 68, we are 11%. We are one of 68 who are not doing it. So for all those reasons and for the confusion that it's going to cause people, because some council people are going to be 3 years, some are going to be 4 years, I'm voting no.